Well, those are the sounds that hit Toronto International Film Festival earlier this year, and some people are calling this new movie Glee Meets Hockey. Of course, I'm talking about the film Score, a hockey musical, opening this Friday in Montreal, and with me to discuss is the film's star, Noah Reid. Good morning, Noah.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good. You sound chirpy for a Sunday.
Well, that's my job, is to pretend like I'm something that I'm not.
Oh, that works. So, Score, a hockey musical, it's opening this Friday in Montreal. Are you nervous at all?
Well, no, I've seen it a few times on the festival circuit. I saw it at the Toronto International Film Festival. We traveled with the movie to Sudbury and Calgary and Alberta and Edmonton, Halifax. We went everywhere with this baby. So I've seen it a few times, and at this point I know that, I know what it looks like, and I know that it works, and so I'm just excited for people to get to see it.
And so the musical is about a homeschool kid who realizes he wants to play professional hockey. What did you think when you first heard the concept? Were you skeptical, or were you like, I'm all for this?
Well, I don't know. In some ways it sounds a little strange, but in other ways it's like, for me too, it was the perfect. It was literally the perfect thing. It's like comprised of all the things I can do in life, which are acting, singing, and playing hockey. So I kind of thought, well, this might work. And then I read the script, and it seemed like actually a really good fit. And if you think about it, these are things that Canadians do exceptionally well, music and hockey. And if Stump and Tom can put them together, I don't see why we can't.
So how many actors could even audition for this part that you have to be able to play hockey, sing, and act?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was the first guy in the room, and the way that Mike McGowan, our writer and director and producer, tells it, I went in and they were like, "Huh, okay. Well, we found a guy who can sing and act. Can he skate?" And I said, "Oh yeah, sure, I can skate. I've been skating all my life." And he said, "Yeah, we'll see." So we had a separate skating audition, which is kind of cool. It's a different audition process than I've ever been through before, but a lot of fun.
You know what's funny? I was in the movie theater seeing a preview of Score, a hockey musical, and people behind me were talking. They're like, that guy, he looks like a Canadian Michael Cera.
Michael Cera is Canadian.
Yeah. Have you gotten that before? I guess those people are a bit out of the loop of who's a Canadian actor and who's not.
Well, no, I get it all the time, but that's an all right comparison, I suppose.
Well, you guys have kind of both made it in Canadian movies, and it's kind of hard to do that these days. Big Canadian pictures.
Yeah, I think it's getting a little easier. It seems to me like the Canadian film scene is really kind of picking up. In Montreal, you got filmmakers like Jake Tierney who are really tearing it up. At TIFF this year, some of the best movies I saw were Canadian movies, and so I don't know. I think it's a good time for Canadian movies. The challenge now is that Canadians have to go see Canadian films in order to keep them kind of going at the box office.
That's true. So if anyone wants to see Score, opening this Friday in Montreal, but it was the first movie at TIFF.
Yeah, that's right. We opened the Toronto International Film Festival.
So were you nervous about that? And did you get any high fives from any celebs in the audience?
I was pretty terribly nervous because I hadn't seen the movie yet up until the opening and the gala and stuff. And this is my first major role in a film, so. It was fairly nerve-wracking, but I think one of the prouder moments of my life is introducing my father to Ron McLean. That was a pretty good one.
What was that like? What was the exchange like?
Oh, it was incredible. Everybody, the room before we went into the Roy Thompson Hall Gala was filled with hockey figures. Dion Phaneuf was there. Damon Allen, the ex-quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts, was there. Lennox Lewis was there. I met people like Josh Brolin and Will Ferrell and stuff. It was kind of a surreal experience for me. So
Do you think the Americans got it though? Because it's very Canadian, very hockey oriented, and they don't always get the hockey stuff.
It is really Canadian. I don't know. I'm not sure how it will play internationally. It's certainly a very Canadian story. I think if it does well internationally, it'll probably be, in places like in Europe or something, in Germany, where they're like, oh, yeah, we love Canada and hockey. I'm not sure the Americans will get it. But on the other hand, it's also just a great story. It's a love story. It's a coming-of-age story, and it's a sports movie, so maybe they'll go for it. I don't know. I hope they do.
And do you think the audiences will be more the sports movie type or more like the Glee musical type?
I think we're hoping for a little bit of everything. You know, if somebody's girlfriend goes, "Oh, I want to go see a musical," and the guy goes, "Well, great, I want to go see a hockey movie," then we've really hit our mark.
And since you sing and play hockey, what category are you in that mixture?
I would categorize myself as an actor who does both of those other things.
And when did you start singing? When did you start playing hockey? When did you start all that?
I started singing probably around when I was 6 or something. I mean, it's always something I like to do, and I was in choirs and vocal competitions and stuff. And then I kind of stopped singing because at a certain point, singing isn't really cool.
Say what?
Then,
what? No one gave me that memo.
I've been playing hockey all my life. My uncle had a backyard rink, and so we'd go out there and play as often as we could. I never played at a super high level though, because I started acting professionally when I was about 6 or 7 as well. So there were a lot of things to juggle, and it didn't look like I was going to make the NHL. So, but I still play. I play shinny all the time.
But you were the voice of Franklin the Turtle.
I was indeed.
Do people still come up to you and say, "I can still recognize your voice," or do people say, "Can you sign my DVD copy of Franklin the Turtle"?
No, I don't think I've ever. Maybe I've signed one autograph as Franklin. That's kind of the beauty of voice, is that there's no facial recognition or anything like that. But the thing that I get most is, can you do the Franklin voice? And I don't know. I hit puberty quite a while ago, and the Franklin voice doesn't happen for me anymore so easily.
How did Franklin come around for you? How did that all start?
Oh gosh, I guess I was 9, and I had an agent at that point and just went in for an audition just like any other, and I guess they've been looking because it's a fairly iconic Canadian book series, and they wanted to make it they wanted to do it right, but I guess I just kind of had a really kind of simple, young, innocent voice, and that's what they were going for.
That makes sense. And how long did you do that for?
I did it for 4 years. I did 5 seasons and 2 features.
That's a lot of work for a kid trying to go to school and play hockey and sing at the same time.
Yeah, it is. But voiceover is crazy like that, because you can just waltz in for one day. I'd miss one day of school a week, and I'd go in and hang out with my friends and eat free food and read lines off a page. I thought I was in the money.
And did you get props from that, from like the kids at school, or were you just like?
A little bit. Some kids would be some kids would get on your case about it, but secretly I think I always knew that they thought it was cool, or if they hated me, that I was prepared to deal with that. It's a little bit difficult though. I mean, when you're going away all the time and you're a kid, you're afraid your friends are going to forget you or something. But my friends were good. I was lucky that way. Are
you still friends with the same people that you were friends with back in the day?
I have a few. Yeah, I've had the same best friend since I was 3 years old. I still have a bunch of buddies that I see. I was actually just up in Montreal yesterday, hanging out with some friends of mine that go to Concordia. So I keep a good little group around me.
And have they seen the movie Score?
I don't think so. I'm hoping they'll all go on Friday.
they better. So now, also in the movie Score, a lot of big people, big names, Canadian names and international. You see Walter Gretzky, huge.
Yeah.
Nelly Furtado, also big. But Olivia Newton-John plays your mom. She's
does indeed.
The lady from Greece, Sandy from Greece. What was that like, and were you intimidated?
I wasn't intimidated, actually, and I thought I would be, but I kind of attribute that to her as a person, because she's such a kind of she just puts you right at ease, and it was just, showed up on set and was just really interested in being a part of this movie and contributing what she had, which is incredible talent, a beautiful voice, and she's incredibly funny and inventive. She and the guy who played my dad, Mark Jordan, they're both very successful in the music industry. Mark Jordan wrote songs for Rod Stewart and all kinds of people, and so they knew each other from their forays into the music world, and just had so much fun on set. We couldn't get through takes because we were laughing so hard. Like, it was really amazing. Did
she give you any advice about being in a musical? Because she has a lot of experience with that.
No, she didn't give me any advice about being in a musical. She just kind of, kept patting me on the back and going, "You're doing great." But occasionally, like, people would come up and ask her for autographs and stuff, and and she'd sign every single one, and I was like, what? Does that get tiring? Do you get tired of this? She said, well, you have to remember that, these people, it's their first time